video lesson, I will teach you how to make this dress here to confect it. I used 4 novels of your white shopping and 4 novels of the middle of your black, also hobby crochet needle, number 6.5, and also the 5mm to make some details is I will approach so that you can see well the detail of. It stays tight, really warm. That's the point right here. It's called Polly's foot. He's a pretty classic print. The storm is always in fashion. And during the step-by-step video lesson, I teach you to take your measurements to do according to your body. You can do the girdle just like mine, or you can do it straight, wider, shorter. Then it's up to you. I'll teach everything in the video class, okay? So I will connect a little more for you to visualize, and let's go to the step-by-step dress. To make this dress, I will use the hobby wing of circle. It is a peeling wool, does not make a ball. Our balls with 160, a meter, 100 green, 100% acrylic. And suggest me to crochet a needle of 4 to 6mm. The color I will use is the color number 10 white, and I will also use the same wool hobby here in the color 940 black. I will use to weave needle of 6mm. I will also use measuring tape and some point markers. So let's go step by step. I'm going to explain now how it goes. You will take the measurements to make your dress. Now I'm going to teach you taking the measurements to make. It's your dress. So the first measurement you will take is the circumference of the bust. So you're going to pass here at the top of the bust and you're going to join here. Ooh. Put it further forward for what? You visualize. So it's the measurement of the circumference of the bust. You will take 3 measurements, this bust circumference, the belly circumference, and shoulder to shoulder very neatly. Where the shoulder begins and where it ends is, so you're going to take these 3 measurements and you're going to take the largest of them. In my case, not in my body. Here the mannequin gave 100 centimeters. Here the bucho measurement was my biggest measurement. I'm going to use it because if I, for example, took the measurement of my belly, I have a bigger mouth. Then it will be right up here, and here it will be wide, right? So I have to do it according to the body. So I have to take the largest of the 3 measurements, okay? For example, I have 11 shoulder wider. Then it takes the measurement of the bust and it is tight on the shoulder. So for the blouse to fit nicely, for the dress to fit nicely, you take the 3 measurements and take the largest one, okay? Then mine. I'm going to take the measurement of the bust, which will be 50 centimeters, because we're going to divide it in half. Well, then I'll explain everything right there in the step-by-step class, but my circumference here is 100. Another measurement you need to take is from the collar cavity. Okay, you're full of poie in the hollow of your collar, so you're going to leave 2 fingers here. Oh, after the neck on each side, put your finger here up to more or less 2 fingers. Then mine normally measures about 15 centimeters. Oh, the 2 fingers. Then here, but this is optional. You can make it bigger. How is a canoe neckline here? You can do from there. It is up to the criterion, the width. So you're going to take this width out here. What do you want to do for the collar hollow? The other measure is the sleeve socket, which you need to take out. Then you're going to put the measuring tape right over your shoulder and go down to about 2 fingers below your armpit. You have to leave about 2 fingers free, which is for the blouse, for the dress, not to rub under the arm. It's too tight, it's uncomfortable, so it always leaves a little slack. Here. In my case, as it is a size P that I will do normally, this measurement here, O of the sleeve cavity for OP is 19 to 20 centimeters, For OM is 20 to 21 centimeters, and for OG is 22 to 23. GG from 20 is 324 to 25 centimeters. What about you? If you don't want to take measurements, it's more or less like that, then I'll leave mine 20 centimeters here. Another measure is length. So to get the length you want to make, you put it right over your shoulder and go to the highest part here of the body of the pocket and down the tape to where you want it to be. That's where you want this dress to be, the length of it, okay? Because if you are here, at the lowest, then when you wear it, it will go up here, and the dress will be shorter. It won't stay as long as you want. So you always have to count on this space here, because then it will, when you wear it, it will go up and it will still remain the size you want. Another measure is the mango, the sleeve that he has no arm to show you, but the sleeve you always take off with the arm bent like this, which is the same thing here, when you go to measure, because when you stretch out your arm it can be short. If you take it with your arm outstretched to measure, the time you bend your arm, the sleeve gets short because it shrinks here, So if you take it out with your arm bent, you will make this space here that is for bending, okay? So always take it off with your arm bent here to know the length of the sleeve. And you can also take the circumference of the fist here, which is to know the width you want this fist, to not make it too wide or too tight, right? So these are the measurements. They are very basic, okay? That you can apply this measure to any piece you have made for a coat, for a male blouse, female. They are the same measures. Always take the 3 measurements here. Take the largest one. Kava. From the collar hollow of the sleeve and the length of the sleeve and the sleeve. So these are the measures. Let's go to the dress step by step. To make this dress, I'm going to do it in a circular shape. I'm going to start from bottom to top in a circular shape. So I'm going to do here the back and the front all together. Until you reach the mango pit. Then came the mango pit here. I'm going to separate it. Then yes, I'm going to weave the space here in the sleeve, and I'm going to continue straight here and make the hollow. Drawing turned out horrible, but that's more or less how I'm going to do it. Then circle from bottom to top until you reach the pit. From the mango, then we take the next steps, a little more, a little different, but I will explain everything very clearly in the step-by-step class, just so you understand how it will be done. Then, from bottom to top, in a circular fashion, closed rows, until you reach under the arm. So now I'm going to teach you how to make the stitch in another color, because I'm going to make the coat here in black and white, and then the black is difficult to see, right? So I'm going to use the color, it's a lighter color, to teach how to make the cool point of this sleeve here, that it comes with easy pull, which is this little label with the middle thread. You already pull, you can already work. It is much easier to find the middle wire to start the work. So now I'm going to teach you how to do the pulling piece stitch to make the dress. So to teach, I'm going to use here sobras of threads from Mole de Text 500. I'm going to use these 2 colors here, the blue and the pink, just so you have a sense to see the position of the dots very clearly. When I'm going to use the wool, the dark wool, then you're going to make the string of chains as you took it from the circumference. My circumference is 100 then, 100 centimeter, 1 meter. So I have to make a chain cord that is 1 meter long to make my dress. But since this is a sample, I'm going to make a few chains here to show 12 of 34, 5, 67. I'm going to make the chains here, and I'll be right back. So I made an even number of chains here. You have to have an even number to make, so here it is. I made 36 chains, which is the even number, and I'm going to close it because I'm going to work in a circular career. So you will need the cord very straight, and it's bad to want it. It will be very long. The cord to make the coat, right? To make the dress here. Let's see if it's not crooked, so I can close it on the first chain. Whoa, I'll close. Taking the thread from the ball, I close with a low point. Now my career circle is set. I ensure it's not crooked as I'm prone to bending the cord. I have a knack for bending this wire here. You're gonna stay right here in the middle. Now it's all right. I'm going to make a chain to gain height, and I'm going to make a low point in the same chain here that I closed everything together. Here I'll make a low point. So here I started my career with a low point in the next chain that is twisted, by the way. I'm going to fix my cord and I'll be back. I twisted the cord. It was twisted, so I closed it in the last chain. I make a chain to gain height, and I'm going to make a low point at the same point where I joined the two there. I made the low point here. I start. My work on the next chain makes a high point next to low point. The next to a high point, then you will do a high point, a low point throughout the career, and start your dress by the darker color. I don't know what color you will use, but always I think it's cooler to start with the darker, but it's a matter of taste is also optional. You do the way you want, so here. Yeah, I do a high point, a low point, a high point, now a low point. And I've been doing this throughout my entire career. So that's the point, a high point, a low point always. I'm going to finish my entire career here, doing this low point, high point sequence until I get here. When I get here, in the end, I will return. So I came running all my career, making that sequence of a high point, a low point. I made a low point here. I'm in the last chain of my career and I ended with a high point. Remembering that you have to hit the sequence right. Oh, high point. And I started with a low point, so my sequence went very well. Now to close the career, I'm going to change the thread. So I'm going to take the thread of the other color and I'm going to close the career with the other color. So here, not me, me. I'll go in with a needle. Oh, at the low point. I'm going to pull here. I'm going to close it. Let me just cut this little tip here, this wire, and I'm going to pull it here. Oh, hold the wire like this. I'll pass here and I'll pass it inside. From this thread here, from the point like this, I joined the career and I have already made the color change. And I can start with the pink thread. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to take the blue one. I'm going to work with two wires always, so I'm going to take the blue wire and I'm going to bring, oh, it's back here. I'm going to turn the work around. We're going to work careers back and forth. I'll turn around, I'm upside down here. This pink wire stays here that I'm going to work on. and this blue wire here. Oh, I'm going to take it around here and bring it here. Oh, I'm going to lead this wire, bringing it here. So now I'm going to make a little chain, and I'm just going to adjust it right here. Oh, I dropped this blue thread. It's lacing. Now I have the high point here, so I'm going to make a low point. At the high point, I always started my career with a low point. I'm going to make a high point inside the low point, so I'm now going to reverse the order. Where I made a high point, I make a low point. Where I made a low point, I make a high point. That's because I changed my career, so I always start my career with a low point and finish with a high point. It's always going to be like this, and always driving the wire, bringing the wire here together. And doing it, oh, low point, high point. Oh, it's going to give low point. I'm going to make a high point. Here was the high point, I make a low point. Here was the low point, I make a high point by taking this pink. Here is the high point, I make a low point. High point, so it's always going to be this sequence of points. High point, low point, don't forget to run this wire here. Don't forget to run the blue wire here. Then you keep doing this sequence until you get there on the other side. Well, here's a high point, make a low point. Here's a low point, make a high point. I'm going to weave my whole career doing it the same way until I get here at the beginning. Then I return to do the color change and show the next steps. I spent my whole career doing it. The high point, low point sequence I got here at the end here, where I did the color change. I'm going to make a high point, always bringing this blue thread here. The beginning is pretty boring to do, then it goes away, which is a beauty. So I'm done here, and I'm going to finish. At the low point here that I started, so I insert the needle into the low point, and I'm going to take the blue thread now that was coming here, and I finish this point. Oh, finish, close the row with the blue thread now. So I'm going to pull the blue thread. I step inside here. I adjust the pink, adjust it well, turn the work around. And I'm going to bring blue here, that I'm going to work with him. And I'm going to bring the pink here to hide. I make a chain that is equivalent to a point. I said sorry, so that I can gain height, and I'm going here at the high point. And I'll make a low point. Let me just put the wire in front here. Don't forget to run the pink wire here. So I go there at the high point. I make a low point here in the next one, a high point, the next one a low point. So I always start my career with the low point and end with the high point, and you can already get a sense. Then the first points are already appearing here. Look, low point, point, look. Look how beautiful it's getting. Don't forget to bring this thread here. Don't pull too much so as not to get wrinkled tight the body of the dress. Oh, it goes doing the sequence of point, low point, high point, low point, high point. Oh, always reversing. Where there was a high point, I make a low point. Where there was a low point, I make a high point. And if you don't forget to turn two. To turn the fabric, okay, it's not on the same side. One career always works in law, another career the other way around. So at first it seems to be a bit difficult, a bit complicated to start with, then you get the hang of it and go. So I'm gonna weave this career. I'm almost here at the end and I'll be right back. Look how beautiful it's already on this side. The pole P point is already appearing here. So I ended my career here. Oh, here at the end, where do you change colors? I'm going to make a high point. I finished the high point. I'm going to close the career with the pink thread now because I'm going to change color and enter. With needle there at the low point where I started my career, I take the pink thread, pull it here, and close it. I give that little adjustment to the blue wire that I had been working on. I turn the work around. Don't forget to turn it around. Pass this blue wire now here in front. Bring it to the side so you can drive it. And now I started my career with the pink thread, so here on the first point, I make a low point, a high point. Then you will follow the sequence and notice that on this side, let me just make a few more points so that you can visualize better. It is the same on both sides. Only one color will predominate on one side and the other color on the other. Then you will choose which side you want to leave up, to the right side of your dress. Look at this side here. Blue is predominant here, and here on this side pink is predominant. So then you will choose which side you want to be on the right side. I will prefer to do it with, in this case, the pink on the outside, which I think will be more beautiful, but it's a matter of taste. So follow this sequence. You see how it's not difficult and very easy to do by making the loop here. Then it gets difficult. Do the high point, low point, always leading the wire here together. I will finish this career and be right back. So I don't forget to do the sequel. Low point, high point, low point, high point. I've spent my entire career doing the sequence of points. I'm here on the last one and I'm going to do the last highlight here. I finished. Drop the blue wire here on the side. Oh, I'm going in. Needle here at the low point where I started my career. Then I make it tight. Now I take the blue wire, which is next, and I will close the career with it. I turn my work, I adjust it here, I bring pink here, and I start with blue making a chain here, and I'm going here to make the low point. Next, high point, low point, always leading the wire here. Don't forget, high point, low point. Look how beautiful, beautiful it's getting. Look at the difference, and I prefer it. The most beautiful pink side, right? But then you choose, yeah, I'm going to go down until the end of my career, so there's no secret. It's just a low point, a high point, right? What else? I found it more complicated there to explain the color change. Look how it looks when changing colors. I'm going to leave this one alone. That's why I chose the dark color down, because it is the light color, and that I will let stand out in the right. So it's nicer than changing colors, because on this side, it's not so cute anymore. I don't know. I prefer it this way here. So I'm going to weave. When I finish my career, I come back for the next ones. It's the next details of my dress. So I finished my career here, and I can continue. So you're going to do it this way. The dress is going to be like this. Yeah, I'm going to weave mine in black and white in my size, which is what I'm going to have to do. It's the 1 meter circumference here to get it right. I'm gonna do it like this here until I get under my arm, okay? So I do it and I wear it. Or I take the length I want minus the sleeve hollow, which will give the size there, which will have to be done. Want to see here, oh, I have all my measurements marked. Oh, 80 centimeters wide, right? Which is each side 60 centimeters long up to the hollow of the sleeve. Because I make my total length of the dress is 80 centimeters from the shoulder to near the knee. They're 80 centimeters, so I'm going to discount 20 centimeters, which is from the hollow of the sleeve. So I'm going to weave 60 centimeters until it reaches under the arm. So here, oh, I'll make the drawing for you to facilitate the drawing here of my case so far. It's going to be 60 centimeters high with 50 on each side. Okay, why the circumference? 50 here, 50 there. So I'm going down until I get here. Oh, in the pit, in the mango pit. So I'm going down the way I taught here. Oh, in the little one, I'm going to do the big one now until I get under the arm. When I get here, I'll come back to pass. As for the next details, how are we going to do the cave and continue here for the dress? So when I have this part here already woven, I will return. I came back here. What I decided is to make a detail here in the dress. So I've already woven this part here, already looks at circumference. So I've already woven 12, 34, 5, 67, 89, 10, 11 careers. Now I'm going to make a detail. I stopped here in the black career, and what am I going to do? I'm going me and me. I already changed the color here because I was going to do it. I would continue until I was normal, only no, I decided to do it differently here. So I'm going to do it the following way. I'm going to close the normal career. But I'm going to close with my career. I'll do black. I'm going to make a black band here and then continue with the stitch. So I'm going to close normally with the black color, and here, oh, I can cut the white wire. So I'm going to cut a piece here. I think I'm going to zoom in so you can visualize it better. So I cut the white thread and I'm going to tie it here just so it doesn't unravel. As I get stronger, I give that little knot, and then I tie this thread there at the end when I finish weaving. So now, like I was doing, I'm turning my career around. Wait! I'm going to take the white thread out of here, and I'm only with the black one now here in my career. I'm going to bring him here to the front, and I'm going to make 3 chains that will go. I was going over here to the side, oh, so I made a little chain and turned the job over. Now I go to the next point. How? As if I were weaving normally. Whether by making the low point to follow. I'm going to make a high point, or I'm going to do it in the best way. That's what I'm doing here together with you. So I'm figuring out the best way to do it here together with you. I'll make the 3 chains, okay? I'm going to turn over here because it was already here. So I already have 11. I'm going to do 2. but it's going to be equivalent to a high point. I'll turn my work around, I'll go to the next point. And I'm gonna make a high point. I'll make a high point for each point. I don't care if he's high point or low point. Here I will make a high point for every point I have in my career. I know you can't visualize it right because of the color, but look at it, one high point for every point. And so I will weave the whole career. I'm going to weave my whole career. When I get here at the end, I'll return. I went through my whole career and got here at the beginning, so I'm going to close in on the second chain I made. To start, then I squeeze and then I can't insert the needle here. To close my career here, I make 3 chains or 2, depending on yours. I'll opt for only 2. I'm going to turn my work around. I'm going to work, go on, go back and forth, and I'm going to make a high point for every point I have here. So it's going to be 2 career highs. Then I resume with polo point P again. Oh, I'm going to do the 2 careers of high points here. The last one, huh? In that case, I already made one. I'm doing the second with only high points. When I reach the end, I come back, so it's high point on high point. When I get to the end, I will return, and then I will start and resume the points here again. Just a little detail underneath. When I reach the end of my career, I'll close it with a very low point. Only now I'm going to change. I'm going to close with the white wire, because I'm going to start here again. I'm going to close it with the white thread, and I'm going to tie it here with the black thread, and I'm going to be careful not to come off. I'm going to make a little chain here now. I'm going to change it accordingly because I'm using it to weave the body here. 6.5, and then I changed the CE is I used the 6.5, and I used here AA5 just to close it, to be more closed here. The space. Make a little chain here, turn my work around, and I'll do it. Everything I was doing before, I'll bring the black wire here. I'm going to drive him, and I'm going to start O here. Low point. I'm going to continue that sequence I was doing. Oh, high point, low point, high point. So here I will follow normally as I came down all the work. Doing my sequence of high point, low point, changing the color there normally. Okay? So now I'm going to weave this way, alternating colors, how I've been weaving, look how it's turning out, how I've been weaving until here. I'm going to show you here. So how I've been weaving, oh, until now from this point here, I'm going to follow, oh, I'll keep going until I get under my arm. So this one was just a little detail. Now I will continue normally with the foot stitch, reversing the colors, each row, until I reach under the arm. When I get under the arm, I'll come back to show you the next steps, which is to separate the mango pit there. Okay? So it works the other way around here. So when I'm done here, I'll be back. I came back that I had already woven here. Until I got close to the waist, I woven more or less. It's 31. Oh, it gave 31 centimeters that I knitted, and I decided to make some decreases because it's going to be too wide at the waist. So I'm going to start making some decreases. If you want, you can make it straight without any decrease until you reach the cava. It's under the arm, as was my intention until then, but I put it on me and I thought it was getting wider at the waist, that I have a thinner waist, so it was going to be very wide. I decided to make a little adjustment, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this adjustment, but if you want, it can be straight, okay? So here I finished my career. I'm going to zoom in here so you can visualize it. So I ended my white career. So the decrease is going to happen in 2 rows, and I'm going to have to decrease on both sides. So before I start, I'm going to mark the middle. Let me come back here and leave it further away. I'm going to have to mark the middle because I'm going to have to decrease on both sides. So here's the beginning of the career, a side, and here, oh, it's another side. So I'm going to put the marker, this point here is here like this. Oh, it's the middle of the dress. This point right here is the midpoint. So I put my marker here, which I'm right in the middle of the coat. So now I'm going to make a decrease here, and then after, when I get here, I make another decrease. I'm going to approach now. So here I'm going to start my career. I'm going to turn white here. And start here. Oh, I'll make a low point, but I won't finish. This low point I'm going to leave here on the needle. I go to the next point, it's a high point, I do the high point and I don't finish. I have 3 straps now. Yes, I take them all off at once. Oh, I take them all off. At once, then I did become 1. And the rest of the career is the normal text. Where it is low point, I do low point. Where it is high point, I do high point. Then I weave normal until I get halfway there, which is where I put the marker. Here I come back to do the decrease together with you. Then I will weave the rest of the career. When I get here in the middle of the dress, I'll return. I came down the aisle and came here where I marked, which was the middle of the dress, the other side. So here I'm going to do 2 decreases. So here when it's to do low point, I'm going to do low point and I don't finish. I'm going to take off the marker, which now I know that here is my decrease. I do the low point and I don't finish and I go on. Next point, I make my high point and I don't finish here. I make my high point and I don't finish now. Feel everything at once, and here too I'm going to make a decrease. So here belongs to the front and here behind the dress. Then I do the decrease. I do as if I were going to make a low point, but I don't finish. And on the next high point and I don't finish. Now yes. I take it all at once, and now the rest I ask normally until I get here. Oh, I ask all the circumference until I get here. When I get here, I'll come back because I'm going to make another decrease here, okay? Because one belongs in the front, the other in the back. But when I get here, I'll come back, okay? I will weave the whole career normally. Now when I get here on this side, before closing, I return to make one more decrease and teach. Show me how I'm going to do the next career. So I warmed up my entire career and arrived here missing to finish. So I'm going to make the decrease. Here where it's low point, I do it and don't finish. And here at the high point, I do the high point and I don't finish. Now feel everything at once, and I can now close the career, and I can now close the career and change the wire. I'm going to turn here, I'm going to pass the black wire here, and now I'm going to work with the white wire. And here, oh, it's to do. It has a high point and a low point finished together. See? So I'm going to do here a low point, 1 point, 1 high point. Let me think, what am I going to do? Wait a minute. I'll do it low, okay? So one low point I don't finish, and the next is a high point. I have to do a low point. Then I do the low point, and now yes, I take it all off at once. Now my career will be right because I have lows close together. I turn into a low point alone, and now here a normal high point. I'm going to weave a normal career. So where there is an increase, I will do it here now. So I'm going to weave my career normally. Now I don't have a decrease at all. I will weave until I get there on the other decrease. When I get on the other decrease, I will return. I arrived here in the next one. The decrease here has a decrease, and here has another. Here has a low point prior to it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a low point here, and I don't end at this point that I made the decrease. I do the low point, and now yes, I take everything off at once. Low, closed, together. Now here. Let's think. Wait a minute. Then I'm going to do it here. I was doing it wrong. So on this previous low point, I'm going to make a high point. Now yes, I have reached the decrease. I do the low point, and I don't finish here. I do and I don't finish, and I'm going to do it. The low point here, and in this next one, I'm going to make a high point even though a low point is to be made. Oh, I make a high point, and in the next one, which is the low point, I make a high point. Highs together, I close everything at once, and now here I resume and do the low point normally. So now I can continue my career normally because it stayed here. High and low, high, low, high, low, low. So I'm not going to decrease for a few rows anymore unless I see that it's necessary. And I'm going to weave now straight stitch over stitch. Then I'm going to weave the rest of the row until I get there at the end. Then I return, so I weave until I get here at the end, which here has another decrease. So before that I have a high point to make. So I make this high point and I don't finish, and I go here, oh, at this point, and make the high point, and I don't finish. I take everything off at once and close the career here at the low point, and now I'm not going to decrease for a few careers. And then I see how I'm going to do. If I'm going to decrease more, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to wear it. So you do yours, okay? If you have to make the decreases, do it and wear it. Let it go. I'm just going to come here, and now the work is big. It's more difficult to show. So here, now I've done the work. Let's see here. And I'll continue with Rio Preto. Oh, here in the first one, I do low point. Here, oh, low point. And here I already do fit point. So here I do low point, high point. Is that right now? I hadn't turned the job, so I wasn't fitting in there. I was thinking, what had I done wrong? Now like this, oh, here, low point, sorry, okay? I just rotated the job, and now it worked. Low point, high point, oh, it went right, oh, low point, high point, normal. So now I'm going to weave normal until I see if I need to decrease more, or even the hollow of the sleeve, as I had explained. So if you were left with any doubts about what it's like, I did. The decrease turns the video a little. Take a look, see how I did it, and then you just do the same, okay? Go back a little bit. The video does the same decrease there. So I'm going to weave now normally, okay? Because now it's going to be very right. Oh, you'll be able to do it very right. Low point, high point, and it's very noticeable here, the decrease. Oh, it goes from unnoticed. So I will continue weaving like this until I see the necessary size. I came back here with the dress fabric until I got the height I need under the arm, so it was 63 centimeters. So here were the decreases that I was making to stay at the waist, because if I made this width here for me, it would be too wide. Then I made the decreases. I explained to you how I made the decreases, and I made several careers here. So I always do it and wear it. And I thought it was even under the bust because then it started to get tight. No, I didn't iron the dress. So what did I do? I increased it again a little more so that it was loose on the bust. So I'm going to teach you now how to make this increase here. But I'm going to explain in the sample. So here I've been doing it and wearing it, and he got this result here. So from here up I'll do it. It's the cuff and the collar. And then I will explain everything clearly to you, step by step. But I'm already really enjoying the result. So here it looks like 0.5, 2, like this. But on the body it wears well, because this part that is high here is right on the hip, so it fits my hip, so it won't be pointed here. Then it fit on my hip and here on my waist. And here when the bust starts, I increased. So I'm going to teach you how to do this increase now. For you guys at the show, I'm here with a woven show, and I'm going to teach you how I made the increases. So now that I have finished my career, change the color, I will turn the work around and I will weave as I have been weaving. But I'm going to do it the following way. Let me just take the film here and leave the blue. So here, I always start with a low point at here at this high point. So I'm going to make here a normal low point to start the career and another one in the same space. So I did here lows, 2, and here I follow normal, making a high point, a low point. So here you're going to do the same thing of finding the middle. So this one here, I'll mark it here, I just won't count it. You can count the stitches and make them really neat, half on each side. So I'll go over here my marker, which here is half. Then I will normally weave my career. I'm going to weave until I get there at the marker, in the same way here that I am weaving, that I have been weaving all over. The dress, then I'll go down here until I reach the marker, and I'll come back to do the increase together again. I came down the lane, here until I got to the marker that was the middle of the dress. So here I'm going to take off the marker, which here is the middle, I already know. So I stopped here at the high point, so I have to do the low point. And I'm going to make another low point here. So I did the increase for the front, for example. Now for the back, I'm going to do the same thing as the decrease. If I do 2, I do here also belongs to the front, belongs to the back. Here, which is a low point, which I have to make a high point, I'm going to make highs here. The increase has already happened, and I continue to be normal for the rest of my career. growing up normally until you get here. Oh, when I get here, I will come back to do the increase again together with you, because the one I started belongs to the front. Now, I'm going to make here belong the back. I will finish my career. I will return when I am here to make the increase together. So I came all the way through my career and I came here at the end. So here we need to make this point and this point here. So here I'm going to do normal. Here is a low point and here is the final high point. I'm going to do highs. Oh, I did one and I'm going to do another. Well, I made the raise here. Now I'm going to close the career, change the color, that little adjustment. Let's see the little chain. I'll turn the job around. I'll organize the wire here. So now here will happen another increase. Oh, I have highs here, so I always have to start the career with a low point. Only here I have to do, I'm going to do here. Oh, together. Oh, there's a low point in the same. So, in the first one, I make a low point to start my career and a high point. What will happen to this increase now that I follow normally? Or else I have this other high point here. Here I make a low point, and here normally I follow my career. Oh, it's high point and low point, high point, low point. Oh. And I continue like this until I get to the other increase. Oh, here is normal, only here happens another increase. Oh, so I start with a low point, I make a high point in the same. In the first high point here, and from here I continue weaving normally. Oh, I'll go down to the other increase and be right back. So I came through the career and I'm getting here. Here the increase still I did, highs together. So here it's still normal, I'll do the high point. And now here, where I did the increase to highs, I'm going to do here low point, which is the sequence of the point, and in the same. I'm going to do a high point, and here, oh, in this high point together here, I'm going to do a low point, and here a high point. That's another increase here. Oh, let me show you here. Here's what I happen to do, bases together. So at this point here, I make a high point and a low point on the side at the same point. Oh, a high point and a low point at this same low point here. Now that I have another low is because I did two career lows together. So here I'm going to make a high point. And I'm going to do normal for the rest of my career. Look, notice that here the increase goes unnoticed. In the middle, oh, go well, calm. Unnoticed is, I'm gonna weave the rest of my career until I get to the other raise here. At the end of my career, I return to show you how I'm going to do this one. That part. So I'm arriving here at the increase, remembering that in my low career I did lows, this here and here. So here I'm going to weave normal, and here at this high point of the increase, this low point of the increase, I'm going to make a high point and a low point at the same point. And now here on the last, I'm going to make a high point, and I can close the career. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to turn the job around. And now here, oh, I'm going to do this normal career to become more cute, organized, and then I can increase again. So here I'm going to make, oh, a low point. Oops, here is Anna, here in the collar of the thread, here a low point, a high point, low point. It's normal here, point by point. I'm not getting any raise. I'm going to weave this whole career. So there's no secret here. It's point by point. He was like this, oh, in the increase. I'm going to weave my entire career until I get here, because there's no secret that when I get here, oh, here, where the increase was made, you're going to do normal, oh, high point, low point, low point, high point, low point, high point. So now we have organized the career. Everything is very correct. So we need 2 careers to make the increase very correct. So I'm going to weave this normal career point after point and return to show how it turned out and start another increase together. So there is no doubt. So I'm going to do this whole career here and be right back. So I went through my whole career and I'm going to close here and I'm going to show you how it turned out. Can you see the increase? Look how it has already increased here. I'm not going to make another increase here to show you over there now. So now here on this side, I'm going to do one more moment. If you want, you can weave normal. A few more careers and then increase. You do it as needed, as it fits into the body. So here the first is the low point, right? We always start with a low point. I do the low point and the same. I'm going to do another low point here. I'm going to follow normal, the resto. Here, if you want to organize, recount the dots, mark the middle, you can do that too. It's as you see fit to be pretty straight. So I'm going to go down until I get here where I made the increases in the previous career, and then I return here to make the increase together again. So I came weaving to where I made the raise in the previous career. At this point in the forthcoming moment, I'm going to make an additional point. The tall one here, normal. And what's the raise like? I will make another high point in the same space. And here I have to do another increase too, because it will belong to the back. So here's a low point, I do a low point, here's a low point, I do a low point again, then lows in the same space. And here I usually test my career. Until I get there, at the end I will weave until I get there at the end, do again to the increase here at the end of the career. Then I'll weave and be right back. I've been going through my whole career and I'm getting here at the end. Here is the final low point and the high point. So here I normal text, and here in the final highlight I will do high point, low point, end. I make a high point and another high point of the increase. Now I can close the career, I change the wire, and they see my work. I'll adjust it here, bring it here. So now here to start, I have altos. So here in the first O. Make a low point and a high point in the same space. And here at the next high point of the increase. Here I'm going to make a low point, just a low point, because now I've placed the sequence neatly on the next high point. So, oh, I already got the sequence. Oh, low point, high point, low point, high point. So I've arranged the sequence now. Then I'll go down the normal career until I get there in the other increase, and I'll be right back. So I got here on the next raise. I have lows together, and here, highs together. So here, following the sequence, low point, I'm going to make a high point here on this first low point, and I'm going to do a low point in the same space. Here where I made the low point, the other low point, I make a high point. And here where I have highs, I'm going to do on the first point, a low point and a high point together. And then in the next high point here, I make a low point, and I have already arranged the sequence of points. Here, point A, I'm going to finish. My thread of the show is I'm going to do the rest of my career here and return there at the end to show how it turned out. I got here at the end. So here I have another increase. A, lows together, so I'm going to do here a high point at that first low point and a low point on the side at the same point, and I'm going to make the last high point here on the last low point of my career. Now I can close. It's all right. This is where I have to close. I have to be careful not to close it wrong. Yes, I already have the complete sequence quite right. The chain saw my work, and here just follow normally. Oh, here, my first low point here I got when I did it together. One high point, one low point. So I arranged the sequence in that career. And now that I have a very clear career, then I'm going to go down here until I get to the other increase to do together, just so there's no doubt. So I'm going to finish here by scoring your career until I get there in the other raise. So I'm testing the career normally, and here, oh, where is it? It looks more chunky. That's where the increases were made, here, 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 here. So here you have to pay close attention. So here, oh, I'm going to follow the sequence. High point, low point, high point. You have to pay close attention and visualize there. Low point, here and here, fit point. Here, low point, high point, low point, high point. So I've already gone through the raise. Oh, it went very well. And here I'm going to be normal until I reach the end of my career. I'll weave until I get to the end, and I'll be right back. I went through the rest of my career, and I'm getting here at the end. It was here too. I did the increase here, normal high point here, a low point, and the high point here. Can I close my career? And I will show you how the increase is now. Look at how the increases happen. Notice here how it increased on both sides. Here it also increased the same thing as here. So you do it like this on my dress. I only did it 2 times, just what I did here, just this here. I did these 2 increases, then I stopped. So you do what you think is best, what serves you there. So that's why I like to make and wear it, why I've made the dress before and recorded it here in this show. For what? One that is best to visualize in this color, and another that I like to make and wear, do and dressed and doing. Is it recording? No, it wasn't going to stay, it wasn't going to work out very well. So now the next step will be to dig the pit. Then I'm going to show in the dress itself how I'm going to do the cave. So the next step now is to count the points. I have here in my career 90 points in total. So I counted from here the first. I counted half, didn't I? Half, 90 and 45. So I counted here 45 points, and I put the marker in the middle here. Oh, and here it closed 45 at that point. And then I turned and counted 45 to check. It worked out pretty well. So here's the middle. What am I going to do now? I'm going to weave a normal career and start here. I come to the marker, so I'm going to weave this career until I get to the marker. Now that the dress is so big, it's hard for me to film, show you here. Let's see if I can organize it here. So like I said, let me try to fold here, then we'll see. So I'm going to weave, I'm going to start my career here. Now it's the turn of the white thread. Then I'll weave. That's how I always weave. I'll weave it, okay? I'm not going to film because there's no need, because I'm going to start, like, I always start text here normally until I get to the point before the marker. The marker I put right in the middle. Oh, because this here is 0.45 on the front and this here is 0.45 on the back. So I marked right between them. Oh. So I'm going to go down until I get here at this low point. When I get here, oh, I'll come back to show you what I'm going to do. So I came down, I came back here. I'm going to take off the marker and I'm going to make my last point here. Oh, I'm not going to finish that point. Oh, I did the last one. I said I was going to make it here, but I just had to change my career there, right? So yes, it ended here at the high point, but I woven here. Oh, from the beginning until I reached the marker. Here I'm not going to finish with white, I'm going to finish with black. Because it's for me to change colors. Oh, I adjust it here, and I'm going to make a chain, and I'm going to turn my work here. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to drive him here. So now, I'm going to work career back and forth. I'm not going to work anymore. Circulate. So, I got there. I changed the color. I changed my career. I'm not going to take this thread here, so it won't go well here. The detail of the dot that starts with .ui, hit the camera, starts with low dot, ends with high dot. No, it won't work out very well, because here is the career well, it started. Yeah, she finished here with a low point, so I made the chain. I'm going to the first point here, and I'm going to make a high point. I'm going to follow the detail of the point. Now the chain, just to gain height, I made my high point there. Here I'm going to make a low point. So I'm going to follow the detail of the point. Throughout his career. So I'm going to weave like this, look at it, loops back and forth until I reach the size of the hollow of my sleeve. So my carver has to be 20 centimeters. So I'm going to weave 20 centimeters from here, Counting from here, I only have to weave 20 centimeters round trip career. I'll weave till I get there in the end. Where did I stop? Here. Oh, I'm going to weave the whole career here till I get here. Oh, when I get here, I will return to do it together with you, so there will be no doubt. So I'm reaching the end of my career, missing 2 points here. I make a low point. And the high point here, I don't finish this high point, and I'm going to change the color. I finish with the white one. I adjust the black thread here. I'm going to make the chain, and I'm going to turn this line, and I'm going back down. So now that I'm going to turn around, arrange the wire here, then I keep bringing the wire here. Bring a black wire over here. So here the first one I will do low stitch, high stitch, and I will weave normally until I get there. In the end, I will weave the career until I reach the end, and I will be right back. Then I got to the end of my career. I made the last point, which was a high point. I made low point. I'm not going to finish. I'm going to change the color, make a chain to gain height. Or here, if you want to make 33 chains, what will you do? A high point can also, because here is a high point that I have to do. Then I can make a career. And make a low point, which I have already followed. So you decide if you want to make a high point or the 3 chains and weave normally the career back and forth, in the way I taught, until you reach the size you need. This part here, I have to reach the size of the hollow of the mango. In my case, it's 20 centimeters. I'm going down straight back and forth for 8 inches. When I get to this measurement here, the height of 20 centimeters, I'll come back to explain the next steps. I came back here that I didn't weave all the S20 centimeters that I said I was going to weave straight, because I decided to do this one in front. So I stopped before, missing 5 centimeters, I weave 15 centimeters here. Look, since I started here, since I started just this part, I came down here 15 centimeters. Then I stopped to make the collar hollow. So how did I do it here? I have 45 points in total, so you're going to have to find the middle. I found the half, 45 and 22 and a half. So I counted 22 points here and 22 points here. There's one left. This right here is the midpoint, so I put the marker on the midpoint to know what half is. Then you choose the size you want to make. I chose here to leave about 5 centimeters of this central marker here, 5 cm. Then I put the marker and turned here, from here to here also 5 centimeters, and put the marker. I counted the points here. Oh, the amount of the marker here is quite right, 1234. 5 points here is the same thing. Oh, after the marker, 12,345 points, so there are 5 points here and 5 there. So I'm going to start the pit with 10 centimeters. Then I'm going to decrease like this. Oh, as I strengthen the careers, the other 5 cm. So I stopped here at the end of my career. I'm going to turn my work around and I'm going down here. And then I'll just work on this side for now, until I reach 5 centimeters. Making the decreases, then you will do the same thing there in yours. you will count the point, find the middle point, and mark how much you want here of distance. I want to start with 10 centimeters and then go down. So I'll start. Now I'm going to bring the camera closer to show it. I'm going to adjust it here very neatly to show how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to turn the work over and I'm going to move until I get here near the marker. When I get here, I return to do the decrease show. I came back here missing to get here on the marker, 11 point and the marker point. I'm going to do the decrease now, so I'm going to do here a low point at this point, and I'm not going to finish. I'm going to take off the marker here just so I can make the point. At this point, here is the high point. I'm going to make the high point anyway. Let me just organize the thread here. Oh, I do the low point and I don't finish, and I go there on the high point. I do the high point and I don't finish. Oops, and I don't finish. I'll keep them here with the 3 loops on the needle. Now yes, I take everything off at once, and I did my first decrease, but here I have to take it off. I'm going to do it again, because I have to take it off with the black thread to do the color change. So I'm going to do it again. Here, low point, without finishing, I make the high point. I'm not done. Now I change the color, come to the black thread, and finish with it to make the change. I'll put a little chain here and I'll turn the job around. I'll come over here and I'll make another decrease. So here's for me to make a high point. I'll do the high point. Let me bring the white thread here. You'll have it with the high point. I do it and I don't finish it. I go to the next one, which is a low point. I do it here and I don't finish it. Now yes, I take everything off at once and do the rest as normal. So I will weave normally now until the end of my career. I will do the color change and I will come back. Weaving with white thread. When I get here at the end, I will return to make another decrease together. I came here with 3 points to go. If I came from here, 123 and 3 point top, then I'm going to do the same thing I did. Previous decreases here. I do point top, normal. This is not part of the reduction. Now here is a low point. I make a low point, but I don't finish. And here is to be a highlight I do, and the highlight I don't finish, and I finish here with the color black to make the film exchange. I make a little chain and I can turn the job around. Look how you're already making the decrease here. Come here and I'll make another decrease. Here I have to do it and pay attention to the height so as not to oversize, okay? Maybe this is my last career. Here's to start with a high point. I make a high point and I don't finish. This is the low point. I do it and I don't finish it. I'll take both at once. I continue here with my career normally until I get there at the end. I will get there at the end of the career. Weaving now stitch by stitch, and I will measure to see if it has given the size I need. I didn't need much. I only needed 2 inches. I think it's already done. Let me see here where I started until here. Look, it has already given me my 5 centimeters. So this here is my last career. I'm going to weave it and I'll be right back. So I've weaved the whole career and now I'm going to measure. From here to here it has already given me the 20 centimeters of mango pit that I needed. I only have one hand to stay breed, but it worked out. The S20 centimeter from here is a mango pit. Now I'm going to cut the wire to show how I'm going to do it here. So I finished the stitch already with the black color.
I didn't finish with white to do color swap. I can cut the wire, the 2 wire. I'm going to give the loop to finish, and I'm going to tie this thread here so it doesn't fall apart, okay? Then we finish the piece.
New is in no danger of falling apart. Now I'm going to start the other one there. I'm going to tie the thread here. I'm going to start from here to stay with the same direction, the stitches. Because when I was weaving this career here, I came here, then I turned the work around and came here. So I'm going to have to go down following, if it was straight. Oh, when I came here, oh, from here to here, then it will stay with the same position of the points. I'll tie the wire here white and be right back. So here I turned the job over and scored. I tied the white thread. Now I'm going to start with him here, already making the decreases. I just tied it up. I passed the wire here and here. As it is low point, I can make 3 chains,
or 2 PRA, which equals a high point. The next one is a low point. I'll make the low point and finish here. So here from 2, there is only 1 left, and I have a normal career until I get here at the end. So I'm just coming with white. I didn't put the black wire here, and I'm going to tie it now when I start there. Oh, I'm already reaching the end of my career, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a high point, and here is a low point. In the end, I make the low point and don't finish. Now I come with black wire. So now I take the black wire and finish which one, oh, passes here and finish. Now I'm going to tie the little end just so there's no danger of it falling apart. So I take it here and tie it to the white thread. So here I tied the thread so it wouldn't fall apart. I make the chain and turn my work around. Chain and turn my. So I turn here and pass the 2 wires here and start my career here. A low point, I'm going to make a high point. Low point here, I normally follow the career until I get there at the beginning, when I'm going to make another decrease.
I'll go down here until I get close to the beginning, and I'll be right back. I came back here 3 points short of reaching the end of my career, point, high point, low and high. So here I'm going to do a normal low point. This one has no decrease, and here I'm going to make a decrease. This would be a high point. I make a high point. No, actually this one is already with this one, so I'm not going to do anything.
I'm going to break it up and do it again. 123 points to go now. 2 and the 3. This is the chain of the high point that I close together. Okay? Now it's right here, so this here are the chains of the high point and the low point that I close together. So here is only 1 point. Here is another, and here is another then. Here I do the normal high point, and here I'm going to make the decrease in these. That I do the low point and don't finish, and I do the high point here and don't finish. I take everything off at once, and with the white thread to make the color change, I make the chain.
Okay.
I step here, it's a good morning, and come and put the work here, I'll do more. Another issue here is to make a high point. I do the high point and I don't finish, I do the low point. I'm not finishing now. I take it all off at once and do the rest of my career as normal. I'm going to weave my career until the end and return with the color black until I get 3 points here. Oh, until I get here again, okay? I will weave until the end of my career with the white yarn. Turn the work around. Do again with the black yarn until it is missing. Then I do the decrease again. So I went back to knitting with the color black, missing here 123 stitches to finish. This one I do the normal high point without the decrease. And now here I'm going to do it with the decrease. I do the low point and I don't finish, and I do the high point. I'm not done. I can finish with black because I have already finished the careers I needed here. So now I can cut black and black here.
I go back with the black color until I reach 3 points here. Oh, until I get here again. Okay, I'm going to go down to the end of my career with the white thread. I turn the work around. I do again with the black thread until it is missing. Then I do the decrease again. So I went back to knitting with the color black, missing here 123 stitches to finish. This one I do the high point, normal, without the decrease. And now here I'm going to do with the decrease. I do the low point and I don't finish. And the high point I do and I don't finish. I can finish with the black color because I have already finished the careers I needed here. So now I can cut the black color here.
I'll finish here. Oh, how do I pay for my touch? Finish here to give the finishing touch and tie the white thread so it doesn't break up there. I finished my career. It's important you count here. Oh, I finished with 14 points. Oh, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The other side of your contact also has 1 fruit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 89, 10, 11, 2, 1, 3, no, 1, 15. You have to have the same amount here from the shoulder. It's so you don't get crooked, dressed. Now I'm going to start the back part. I'm going to take out this marker here because for me I'm not going to use the back part anymore. So it's like this. Oh, right side out. So here the front part I woven for 15 rows. Oh, 12, 34, 5, 6, 7, 89, 10, 11, 12, 1, 31, 4, 15, 16 rows in total. So here the back part I'm going to go down. I'm going down 16 lanes round trip, retaining it non-stop without. Do what I did here on the front. I'm going to weave straight to the 16 rows. I'm going to show how I'm going to start. So I have the piece here on the right side. I'm going to turn it over because we always weave white yarn with the hair inside out. So I turn here, double here, and I'm going to tie the wire here. So after I've done this here, folded it, I'm going to tie the thread right here, at the first stitch. From the part that belongs to the part of the back that is here is in this here. At the low point, let's tie the wire. Link at this low point, so I tied the wire here at the first point, and here appearing a high point to do. I'm going to make 3 chains. I'm going to make 2, but what equals me is a high point. And I'm going to weave normally for the rest of my career, low point, high point. And I'll weave until I get there at the end. So I'm going to weave my whole career here. When I get there at the end, I'll return. I reach the end of my career making the last point. It's a low point, I do it, and I don't finish it. And now I'm going to finish with the color black. Hold the tip here and finish with it. We'll be here. Time has passed. I make a little chain here, and here I will adjust your white. And I'm gonna tie 2 little fountains so they don't fall apart. I'm gonna turn it around. I came here now, I'm going to have a normal career, which was a low point. I'm going to make a high point and bring the white thread here. Ponto baixo. So now there is no secret, and continue weaving this entire career here straight until you reach the size I left in front. There were 16 careers, so this one is already my second. I will go straight down without any diminution. Now, until I get there at career number 16, I'm at career number 2. When I reach career number 16, I will return to explain the next steps. I came back here. That I have already reached the size I needed to have. 16 careers. The S20 since needem. Now here, I haven't finished the point, and I'm not going to do the body swap, which is the last career. So I'm going to close with the color black anyway. And now I'm going to cut only the white, not the black yet, because I'm going to use it to make the seam. I'll cut the white here. I'm going to take it out here, and I'm not going to use it for now, and I'm going to tie this white thread to the black thread here so it doesn't fall apart now. So here's this one, this rectum. Look, retina. Here's the front part that we already made the collar. Now I'm gonna turn him. Let me show you how big he is. Then I'll turn him over and I'll sew. That's why I said I had to leave it here, like this side, okay? I'm gonna sew 14 stitches. If I want, I can tell. Let me just take the needle out here for a little while. 12, 34, 5, 67, 89, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. So here I put the marker, which is to know that I have to sew up to this point. In order not to be crooked, you have to sew the same amount of stitches. I'll get it with the marker. I'll go this way. This here is stitch number 14. Then I can start sewing. I think it's better from there to here on this side. So here I finished. Then I can get here. The top of this high point that I made here. So the good thing that this seam it is made is with the stitch tops, it is much easier to sew.
Hold on, I'm just gonna fix it up here.
Oh, what did I remember now? That this seam is done inside out. I was already going to sew here on the right side, look. Then I'm going to turn the dress inside out. I'm going to turn it here and I'll be right back. I'm back here with the dress inside out. Here is the marker I had put from the 14 stitches, and here is the front part. So the dress is inside out. Now I can do the sewing.
Just place her roast here, this little white colt. Then when it's playtime, we finish everything, okay? I'm going to the high point. Connected the high point from the front, pull and step inside.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it like this, everyone. Oh, I'm going to the next one. Oh, I'm going to take the 2 straps and I'm going to the next point here. I'm going to take the 2 straps here, you. Oh, you can do low point or very low point. I'm doing a very low point. Oh, I go to the top of the other point and the top of the next one here. Oh, here you don't do too tight, but you don't do too much punch either. The next point is very simple. Oh, take the top off. I know it's black wire, you can't see it, but I took the top of the 2 chains, right? Oh, and pass here. Oh, I take the whole chain, I go to the other side, I take the whole chain, and I make the very low point on the other side.
I change stitch, so it's very simple to sew. So this dress has almost no seam, but it's just this seam. The rest we will close the sleeve, we will weave, circulate as the dress was made, so we will do it and close, there is no seam. Look how it's getting. The seam is not to visualize well with black thread, but I'm almost finished, so it's pretty simple. Oh, if you prefer, you can use an upholstery needle too. That's up to you. I like it. I don't do well with an upholstery needle. I sew, but prefer crochet.
Okay, and the last point here. So I got to the end of the seam, I sewed everything, now I can cut the thread, and then I'm going to tie it on the other side to make the seam on the other side. Tighten the knuckle and the shoulder seam. It was like this on the reverse side and the right side was like this. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I will. Let me just put the figure on this side here. I'm going to count 14 points here. 12, 34, 5, 67, 8, 9, 10,
11, 12, 13, 14. Good to put the marker here at point number 14. I don't think I'm showing it to you here. Oh, put the marker. Oh, I counted the 14 points. I put it here. Oh, it's pretty right. Now I'm going to tie the thread, take it there, and I'm going to pause and tie the thread, organize it here to sew. I turned the front part forward.
For me, make it easier here to sew. I'm going to get into the first point here. Oh, I'm going to tie up my movie here. You start the way you're used to. Now I can start sewing insert at the same point which is in the first. And here too this life. This life is too thick. I guess I didn't get all the fibers.
Passar o fio aqui. Essa agulha é muito grossa. Aí ele tá enroscando.
So the seam will be done in the same way that I did the other side. Oh, it passed. I make a chain. Now I can go to the next point. Oh, top of point to next of next here. So I'm going to do it the same way I did on the other side. I won't record it because it's exactly the same, very simple stitching.
If you were in doubt, go back a little and see how I did it, complete. The other side is exactly the same. I'll finish mine here and then I'll come back to teach you how to make the mango. Then only the sleeve is missing, then the finishing of the collar and the dress is almost ready. I will finish the sewing and return to teach you how to make the sleeve. I came back here that I finished the 2 shoulder seams. Look how it got with the black color. You can't visualize it well, but it was very cute. And to show that I have already made a sleeve here, that I don't know for you, is because I like to make and wear it on the body. So here are the decreases. But on the body, when we wear it, it doesn't stay like this. Bulging here so big, it looks cute. So this here is the mango. I went down by, let me see how many careers, 1, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 123, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 2, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 303, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. 34 of 5, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3, 8, 3, 9. 40, 41, 42. 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6 rows in total. And I made 3 decreases. Only 3 rows with decreases in the front alone. And I will explain everything properly to you. So the sleeve she got is 47-17. So I was doing it, I was wearing it, and I wrote down everything, how many stitches I started, what career I started, the decrease, how many stitches I decrease, how many stitches I finished here, to do exactly the same in the other. So that's what you're going to do too. Whatever you do on one sleeve, you'll do exactly the same on the other. Then write it down. So for example, I started with so many points. Write down how many points to decrease in that career. Why are you writing it down like that? It's for you to make the other one the same, and it's easier than counting stitches on your own sleeve. You can make a mistake. So I'm going to start the sleeve now. I'm going to tie the thread. I'm going to organize it here, and I'll be back to explain how I start. So I'm here with the space on my sleeve here for me. And the dress is on the right side, out. The right is out. And I'm gonna start her right out. So I'm gonna tie it right here. Oh, right in the middle, right in the middle. Let's see if I approach here. I'm going to tie here, and I'm going to start with the color black. Insert yours here.
And I'm gonna tie him up. So here you start the way you're used to, okay? No problem. I like to tie the string. So you're going to do it right under the arm, right under, right in the middle. So, what am I gonna do here? Where did I tie it? I'm gonna put the needle in, pull the thread, make a little chain. And in the same space and in the same place that I made the chain, I'm going to make a low point. Oh, so I made a low point there where I tied the wire. And in the career on the side, oh, in this one, because now we are working on the side here, oh, where careers are rising, oh. So I'm going to take the side, the careers and the dot on the side.
So here I made a low point here in this career. Here I'm going to make a high point, insert the needle, and make a high point. I'm putting a point in each career. In this career here, I will put a low point. I will follow the detail of the point, a low point, a high point, a low point, a high point. Oh, in the next career here, oh, I will put a high point. If you find it is little, you want a wider sleeve, you can put in each career. Mine went very well. 1 point in each career here to climb the sleeve. So I made a low point here, a high point, sorry. So next career here, a low point. Realize that there is even one more point here if I want. Oh, you can even put one more here, just here too. But I'm not gonna put it, oh, it's spaced out anyway because I want a tighter sleeve. I don't want it so wide. So I'm doing it this way. You'll adjust it the way you want it, wider, tighter, okay? Don't get so attached to mine, to my details here. So here I made a high stitch, remembering that you have to put the exact amount up to that half, up to the shoulder seam. The same thing you have to put from the shoulder seam to under the arm. Here, oh, for mango to stay straight. So both sides have to have the same amount. So I'm going to put one here in each career. Oh, low point, high point, and I'm going to have a total of 38 points. Sorry, 19 stitches from here under the arm to the shoulder seam, and plus 19 from the shoulder seam.
So far, under the arm, totaling 38 points. You always have to have numbers. It's a couple of points to get it right. A motive here, so there's no secret. Just put a dot following the order, a low dot, a high dot.
So I'm going to put it here because the video is going to be too long. Look how it's getting, it's even giving a finish here. I'm almost there, I'm already getting here in the seam. Oh. So the last one was a low point in the next. 1 point is here at the next low point.
I'm going to count to see if I have 19, 123, 4, wait, 11, 23, 45, 67, 89, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 161, 7, 18, my time that I didn't count one down there. Oh, here in the career. Last I'm going to put a high point now. I close the 19. I'll count it again here to see. 12, 3, 4, 5, 67, 89, 10, 11, 12, 3, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Any left? 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 19 points. So this is the part that you need to pay close attention to. Count your points to see if you're right. So now I'm going to put this seam down here. 19 points, 2, 1 in every career I have here. Oh, in order, 1 low point, 1 high point. So when I get down here again, I'll come back to start with you. It's a change of colors and a sequence on the sleeve. I finished my career, I got here. In the end, I counted, I have 19 stitches from here to the shoulder seam, from the shoulder seam up to here, plus 19, totaling 38 stitches. Now I can continue here. I didn't close the career because I'm going to close with the color white now. Oh, so I'm going to go in with the needle here in the first low point that I made. Let me try to get a little closer. So I'm going to go in with the needle in the first low point that I made, which is right here, this. I got everything here. Now I'm going to get a white thread. I'll close with him. I'm going to tie it here in Rio Preto just so there's no danger of it falling apart. As long as I'm knitting. Okay, I'm going to make a little chain. I'm going to turn it around now. I'm going to work. I came doing like I was doing the whole play. Oh, I'll come here and I'll come back the other way. So these little tips that were left here, we will finish everything there at the end. So I'm going to adjust here. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to continue doing my stitch normally. So then it's time for you to see if it got too wide, if it got too tight. You can get more points, so you will now weave your career. It's a matter of taste. So I knit like this here with my 38 stitches, almost the whole sleeve just down there. At the end I went to make the decreases. So I'm weaving normally, bringing another thread here, right? As I have been weaving all the dress, circular career, close the career, turn around, and text changing color. So I'm going to go down like this normally. Oh, so you go on doing and you go on wearing. Just to see if you're enjoying it. Make sure it's not too wide or tight. I'll weave this career and be right back. I weaved my whole career. I'll end it here, change to black, and put the chain. My work and I follow up here normally, point by point, so I'm going to go down like this, point by point for 30 careers. Then I come back to teach you how to make the decreases to see how I made mine right. So I'm going to weave 30 rows. I'm on the third, then I drop the needle. After I started the sleeve, I started here in the black career. I made the white one and I'm making this black one now. So 123, I'm at career number 3. When I test the number 30 career, I come back to teach you how to make the decreases. So the mango is already getting here. Oh, starting to appear here, the mango. Oh,
The dress is there, the piece is too big. Now it's difficult to show here. Oh, so the cuff here is already giving a sign. So you go look around here, wear it, see if it's not tight, okay? So now it's time for you to see dress up for me. Give it a go right here. So I will weave like this stitch after stitch for 30 rows. When I finish the 30, I return to teach you how to decrease. I finished career number 29 here, and I'm going to start career number 30. It is at career number 30 that I begin the decline. So I went straight down. I'll show you here. Oh, since I started 29 careers, I started here in this career. Black O 29 is 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 2, 52, 6, 27, 28, and 29 careers with 38 points in it. Now I'm going to make my first decrease. So I'm going to start here. Oh, I changed the color to start with the white thread. So I'm going to turn the career here that I'm going to weave inside out. It's usually in wine weaving. Except now I'm going, yeah. I've gone through my whole career and it's missing. To finish here, oh, this and this, so I'm going to do it. The decrease is also to make a low point. I make a low point and I don't finish. And here to make a high point, I make a high point, I make a high point, I just don't finish. I have all 3 loops, I take them all off at once. And I can close my career there because with the wedge, and I already close it with the black wire, I make a little chain and turn the work here to work on the right side now. But I went here in this career, also has the decrease to fix the point here. So here, I make a low point, I made a high point and a low point together, so I make a low point to start. And here I have another low point. Oh, I have to make a low point because it's a high point, so I make this low point here. And I don't finish. I enter here at this point. I make a point to have the roast. Oh, here was to make a high point and I don't finish. I enter here at the high point. I make a low point and I don't finish. So, base without finishing. I take everything at once, and here I give normal sequence by point, high point, low point. I'm going to weave my whole career this way. When I get here at the end, I return to make these together, here that were close together. I went through my whole career and I got here, missing this point here that I have. I have to do highs because there is a low point and point here. So I have to do highs now. So I made a low point here. I'm going to make a high point and I don't finish. And the next one here on the last point, I do the high point and I don't finish. I take it all at once and I can finish my career here. I finish with white on a chain. I turn over the work here and there is no decrease here. I'm going to descend normally now here. Low point, where I did the highs together, and here comes a point. Low, I make a high point, so here the career is normal without any decrease. I didn't get all the fibers right now, so I'm going to weave this career normally, okay? This one is without decrease, oh, normal,
So I'll weave it all together when I get here. In the end, I come back. I've been through my whole career, and here I am. I am coming to the end, and I will also show that there is no decrease. I do the low point and the high point here. I'm closing my career. I already do the color change in a chain and turn here to start on this side.
In this career, there is also no decrease. I will weave normally, stitch on stitch. So here low point, high point. So this whole career is normal. I'm going to weave it all, and I'll be back to do the next one together with you, which will then be reduced next time. So I'll weave it here and be right back.
I reached the end of this career without any slowdown. Can I close here? Turning is changing color and turning. Now here I'm going to make a decrease. So I'm going to do the same thing I did there. The other time here is to make a low point. I'll make the low point.
And I don't finish. I'll go in the other one, or I can make a high point or another low point. No problem. I'll take it all at once. I go here at this next point, I make a low point and continue weaving my career normally until I get there at the end. So here you go, see if it's good like that. This way of decreasing, you can start decreasing earlier or decrease more careers forward. So you do it and wear it, see if it suits your taste. It's just that I was making and wearing it, and it worked well for me. So this kind of decrease, doing these rows, some with decrease, others without, until I reach the size I need the width of the sleeve. Okay, so I'm gonna weave the rest of my career here. When I get here at the beginning again, I return to make the decrease together. So I'm arriving here at the end of my career, and I'm going to make the reduction. So it's missing, to make the final low point and high point here. So I'm going to do, the low point and I don't finish, and the high point and I don't finish. I take it all at once, and now like this, close my career here, and I can turn around here. Let me adjust. Arrives 1 hour that we twist this sleeve there, turns here, turns there, the thread gets twisted, the sleeve gets twisted, is already big, the dress, the sleeve, everything starts to twist. So here we are going to do the decrease. It has got a high point. It has 1.1 high point. It has a low point closed together. So I'm going to make a low point here. And I'm not going to finish. And here is the high point. I have to do a low point. So I do a low point. I keep the 3 loops. Take everything off at once. And I'm going to do point A. So here, I'm already following my career normally. Only there do I do the 2 together to make another decrease. I'm going to spend the rest of my career as normal. Until I get here again. When I get here, I'll be back. I need to get to the end, and I'll do it too. It's the decrease here. So here I'm going to make a low point, and I'm not going to finish. And I'm going to make a high point, staying with the 3 leopards. I take it all at once, and I made the reduction here. I'm going to close my career, change the movie.
And here comes the work. And here there is no decrease in this career. I'll make a low point. Let me just tidy up here. So here, it's back to normal. Low point here, high point.
Low point. So here, this career is normal, without decrease at all. So I'll weave it all together when I get there. In the end, I return. She has no decrease in this. So I reach the end of my career here without any decrease. And here, I'm going to close and I'm going to have another career.
Without decreasing, also do the wire exchange here. I will turn here and it will also be without decrease. This one's going to be normal. So here I do low point, high point. I'm going to test.
This whole career, and I'll be right back to do the next one, which will be the last one of the increase of the decrease. Sorry, the last of the decrease, and then I'm almost finished. As for the mango, look how it has already decreased a lot, and I'm going to do this whole career, and I'll be right back. So I finished my career. I already changed the color here, and I will have the work here. I will do my last decrease. So here I'm going to make a low point, and I don't finish, and I'm going to make another low point here without finishing. I'll take it all off at once. Here is to make a low point. I make a low point very high, and I will now continue weaving my career normally. I already made my decrease there. Right at the beginning, I made 11 decreases. Only then will I weave my whole career here.
When I get there in the end, I return, reseat career. Lack. Here to finish, I'm going to do here my last decrease of work. So I'm going to make a low point here, and I don't finish. And a high point here without finishing too. And now yes, I take it all off at once and close my career. I'll do the wire swap. And I can turn. I turn over my work, and I'm now going to make the last decrease, because now I'm going to organize here to stay the same, to stay standard. The reason I do the low point and I don't finish. I make a low point here and I don't finish. Here I continue to weave my career normally. It's very simple and already over. Wove the whole career, be right back. Came back here missing to finish. I'm going to make a high point and I'm not finishing. And high point here and I don't finish. I'll take it all off at once and end my career. I'm not going to change colors here. I'm going to make that black band. I'm going to close it with the black wire, and I'm going to cut the white wire.
Want to see? I'll show it here in the other one ready. I'm going to do this track here. Oh, like I did there on the dress bar. Oh, it's almost finished. Now I'm going to start this track there. Plus these careers here. EAA manga will be finished. So I'm going to cut the white thread and I'm going to tie it here. So there's no danger of it falling apart as it goes down. So I finished my career. I'm going to change needles. Remember I put a thinner needle in the dress? So I'm weaving the body of the piece with 6.5, and here I'm doing it with 5. Because in order not to be so open here, this part of the high stitches, but only here do I change it, okay? So I'm going to make 3 chains that will equal me to a high point. Oh, I made 3 chains. Come my work, I'm going to weave in the direction that I had been working before. So it was supposed to be the white thread. I always do the white thread inside out. So come the work. Oh, and I do my high points. Oh, high point, only high points. It doesn't matter if it's high or low, always high point, okay? Oh, here, high point. In the lower career, I have the high point, no problem. I do the high point too. So this career is just a high point for every point I have here as a base. Look, high point. I'm going to weave my entire career until I get here at the end doing only high points. And I'll be right back. I reached the end of my career. Here's everything twisted that already is. Let me just turn here a little bit like this. So I made the highlights here, and I will close my career here. In the 3rd chain that I made to climb, I close the career. I make 3 chains that are equivalent to a high point. I'm going to work, and I'm going to weave my high points in this one too. In this career here, high point after high point until you get to the end. I'm going to weave all the highlights here of my career, and I'll be right back to show you, to explain the next steps. I reached the end of my career. I'm going to close here in the 3rd chain, but now I'm not going to finish. I entered the 3rd chain. I'm not going to finish with the black thread. I'm going to finish with the white thread. Now I'm going to take the tip here. I'll bring it here. Oops, I didn't get all the fibers. I go there again, step here, close the row, and I can tie a little tip of this white thread here on the thread, on the black thread that I was weaving. And now I'm going to go back to knitting normally then. I'm going to change the needle, and now I'm going to weave the normal piece again. I'm going to make a chain. I'm going to turn my work here. I'm going to bring the black thread here to conduct it again, and I'm going to weave the O point here. Low point, high point. I will do as I was weaving normally the piece. Only here my base is everything high point. So I'm going to do that sequence there. Oh, low point, high point, low point. I'll do it here. I'm going to make this whole career, and I'll be right back. Well, don't forget to run the black wire here, okay? So, do the sequence. Low point here, the chain here. At the end, I'm going to make a high point on it, okay? I just did it to get on the next one. I did low point, high point, low point, high point, low point, high point, and I will weave the whole career. I get here, I'll be right back. I've reached the end of my career. Now I'm going to change. Close here and change color.
I'm going to turn the work around, and here I'm going down normally, point by point. I'm going down this career here. You're black, one more color, white. I'm going to show you the other sleeve here. Oh, so I went down, I'm in this one. I made the white one.
Ó,
I'm making the black one now. I'm going to make another white one and another black one. Oh, I'll be right back, okay? So there is very little left to finish. Oh, I already made the white one. I'm making the black one. I'm going to make another white one and another black one. When I finish these careers here, 12 and 3, I will return to show what I did here at the end and finish together with you. So it's just a little bit missing. Now I'm going to do these 3 remaining careers at 12 and 3, and I'll be right back. I got to the end of my career. I'm going to close. I came driving on the white wire, but I'm not going to change it, okay? I'm going to close the career here, but I'm going to close it with the black wire. I'm going to make a little chain, and I'm going to cut the white thread.
I'm gonna tie the end to your little corner until it's here in your black, just so I don't lose the swelling. And now I'm gonna turn the job around, and I'm gonna stay here with your nigger. I'll make a low point. For each point I have here, just distort this one. It's all twisted. Now it's gonna work out. So I'm going to make a low point for every point I have here in my career. Low point. So I have the normal point here, right? One that high point, low point sequence. But I'm going to do everything low. Everything low is a finish. Only here I'm going to make a career. Only here you can make as many as you want. Okay? It's just that I decided to do this career just to give it size, because I thought it had been a little short, and then if I did one more reason it would be too long. So I decided to do it.
A career of low points that for me was enough for the little bit that was short-sleeved. So that's why I chose to make a career low. But then it's at your discretion. You do it as it is. The size will be according to your taste. Okay? Which is a north for you to base yourself on, to make yours wider, more fulfilling, fairer. So I'm already finishing.
I'm going to do my whole career here. When I get to the end, I'll return. It's missing a little bit. I got here at the end. I made a low point for each point. And I can now close my career here. Oh, and cut the thread, because I'm already finished. So the 2 sleeves are ready. So whatever you do here in one, you do in the other. Okay?
And now I'm going. Just need to finish the collar. I'll organize the work here and be right back. So now I'm here with the dress, right up, and here the collar. Where will I do the finishing? I'm going to start here. Oh, this front part. I'm going to start here. Oh, tie the film at the shoulder seam and come here. Oh, to do. This finish I will tie the thread and I will return to explain exactly how I will do it. So I'm going to tie the thread here. Oh, at the seam of O, I'm going to insert needle here anywhere. Here you can insert needle and tie the thread. So here you can start the way you have become accustomed to. You don't have to tie it like I do. Yeah, so I'm going to tie it here, and I'm going to start here where I tied it. I'm going to make a little chain. I've already tied it here, right at the tip. Oh, over here. No, it wasn't here. Oh, let me show here that I tied it, okay? And I'm going to go from here to there in that sense. Oh, because here is ooh point, the direction of the points. So I'm going over here. Oh, so here you do it the way you want. Make a chain at the same point. I'm going to make a low point, and I'm going to make a low point for each point that I have here on my back. I'm going to walk. I'm going to circle my entire collar, making low points. I don't know if I can visualize it. I made low points. Oh, every spot I've got here. I'm going to make a low spot, just that. A low spot for every spot I've got here on my back. It's easy here because it's top of the line, so it gets a lot easier. I'm starting on this side because I think this side will look more beautiful out here. But then you do it the way you want, okay? This finish, you can make a bar anyway. It is at your discretion, this collar finish. I'm just going to have a career of low points, which for me is going to be great. I'm going down my low points till I get here. Oh, go all the way up the back till I get here at the seam. Then I return to show how I'm going to do it here, because here I don't have a top point. Oh, I have a side. Then I'll be right back. I'm going to knit the whole back part, which is a low stitch for every stitch I have here, okay? So I did. Oh, I went all the way down the back here, and I got here on the side. I'll make a low point. Where I find here that I have space to do, I will put a low point, which I know is difficult to see. Here's career aside. Oh, you can put one or downs per career. I'm putting one in. Let's see how it goes. It's hard to show because it's already big. Oh, here's a row lying on the side. So I'm going to insert A over here. Make a low point. I'm going to do one more. Let's try two to see what it looks like. Let's go in the other lane. Make a low, low point. Here I am doing 2 per career. Well, here too. So I'm doing it here together with you. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'll take 2. Let's see. Let me just turn around to see how you're doing. Oh, it's getting good. Oh, and I'm going now. I've reached the bottom here. Oh, the bottom is top of point. Oh, point, point, top of point. So I'm going down here. When I get here, oh, I'll come back to do it again with you and finish. So I did here. Oh, the whole bottom part. Now just missing the side here until I get here. Oh, on top of the seam. Oh, here, where I tied the thread to start. So I'm gonna turn everything here that I'm doing on the contrary, right?
Aqui.
To be able to continue the play, so just arrange it here because the play is big, it becomes difficult.
This is to show on camera without one part getting in the way of the other. So I arrived here on the side. I'm going to make the stitches like I was doing on the other side. I did. Lows in every part here, from the high point lying down. So here you go, as you think, what you think is good 1 or 2, okay?
These wires here, I'm putting everything inside. Then I'm going to turn this dress inside out and take all these threads that I have left over, and I'm going to finish them all. I'm going to teach you how I'm going to do this finish. So here I have a bunch of cues. I just bring them over here, upside down. Oh, there's a lot of wire here that I have to finish them, and I can do too. Oh, I have more wire here, and I can now close my career here. Oh, I've arrived where I started. I close with a very low point, and before cutting I will look to see if it is good.
I'm just going to organize it here and I'll be back. So look at how the finish of the collar turned out for me, okay? I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm actually going to wear it. And I'm going to see if I make another one or leave it as soon as I go. I didn't cut the cord. I'm going to put it on hold. I'm going to get dressed. If I think it's good, I'll give it away. I'll come back, I'll cut it, I'll show you the finishes. Or else I'll make another career with you. I got dressed, and I'm really going to make another career. I thought it would get better, so I'm going to make a little chain. I'm going to turn the work around, and I'm going to do it now, point by point. There's a high point for a low point for each point. I'm just going to organize it here. So I made the chain and turned the work, which I am now going to.
I'll be doing the low points. Oh, so here at this low point, do the low point. So there's no secret here. Every low point, a low point. So here you will do as you think it will be better, yours, your bar, your finish. However, I think 2 careers will be enough. Then I won't be able to cut the cord.
And finally, I will teach you how to do the finishing. Hide all these wires that are left over. And is the dress ready now? So I keep doing 1 low point for each point until I get there at the beginning of my career again. So I'm going to go through the whole glue, making a low point for each return point when I'm done. And then I will teach you how to do the finishing of the threads.
I arrived here at the end of my career. I closed it and I'm going to cut the wire and everything is ready. Just make the finishing touches, hide the wires that I'm going to teach you how to do now. So this one is ready. Now I'm going to get a needle thinner than I've been warming up. I'll take a 3.5. I think that's enough. I'll find a wire here.
And I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this finish. I'll just set up the play. I took the sleeve here because it's easier to show you here, because the piece is too long, too big, it looks bad. So here I have it on the right side and inside out. I got some wires here. Oh, so what am I going to do? There are several threads here. It's to finish I'm going to finish these first ones to show how you do it, and then you'll do it with all the remaining ones.
So I'm going to take this white thread first and I'm going to bring it. I'm going to walk. Oh, I'm going to take a loop here. Oh, the white thread. And I'm going to pass this thread. I'm going to walk with him there. I'm going to take him here. I'm going to enter a little brush here. Oh. But it's a little throw that doesn't go over there, right? I don't want to go to the right side. I'm just walking with it upside down, always white thread in white color, to give a very neat finish to your piece so that it doesn't stay here. Oh, the thread came from here, so here I no longer see anything of thread. And I'm walking with this thread, oh, some loops here on the inside out. If you want, you can put this thread on an upholstery needle and also passing between the stitches, or doing as I am doing with the upholstery needle. I take it here and I walk with this wire up and down. I'll give you a little stretch here.
If the wire is very long, you have already passed it enough, you can cut it. If not, if it is not as long as mine, you can go on passing it. Oh, until it is finished. I will pass it until it is finished. So it's a work of patience. You're going to do this with all the wires that were left there in your piece. Oh, I'll give you a little stretch. Realize he's out of here. Oh, and there's no trace of him there. So when it's like this, look, I'm gonna cut off this little tip that's open here. I can cut it now. I'll just get my scissors. These scissors of mine here are not very good anymore. I cut it really close and she disappeared in there. Just be careful not to cut the stitch when you cut like that. And oh, the white thread disappeared and it was really cute. Now I'm going to take this black wire here from the end and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take him here and bring him upside down. Oh, in a few loops, I bring him down here, pull him and walk with him. Oh, always in the black part. I know that here on the black wire it's hard for you to visualize, but it will do the same thing I did there on the white. Walking with this wire is tellies and ending up all tellies and disappearing altogether. I take some loops without going there to the right side so as not to get ugly. Oh, just take a few loops and I walk with him all the way.
So you're going to turn your piece inside out and you're going to do it with all the wires. Oh, I tighten the stitch. Then it's hard for me to even get in with a thinner needle. I try to let go, but when I see, I'm squeezing. For me, it is still very difficult to make very loose stitches. That's why I always have to use a much larger needle than suggested on the label for my work to look good. Malleable, if not dangerous to stand. You know when I Tesco a very thick moon with a suggested needle? My work gets hard. So here, look, you're already assuming the wire came from here. Oh, and we'll pass it, passing it until it's over. So this part there is a thing of patience, but it is worth it because the work is very beautiful, well finished. Then, after you think you've passed enough, you can cut. I've been through enough that I let your menu go very long in this one. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it now. Then cut it very close so that the tip does not appear. I just strung it so I don't cut the stitch. Then I cut it, the tip disappeared, and it had a very nice finish. Look where I came from.
Oh, I don't even know anymore. Want to see it from here? Oh, where there was a knot. Oh, there's no thread and it's well finished. Now I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to do with these other threads that I have here. Oh, I'm going to do the same thing that I did, so you're going to do this with all the threads, and then the dress is ready to wear, ready, very beautiful, very finished. So what did you guys like about this one? Sorry I dropped here in adjusting the dress, forgive me. I hope you enjoyed this video class. If you like it, leave your like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed, and don't forget to activate notifications, which is to click on that bell next to sign up like this on YouTube and let you know when I post a new video class, and so you don't miss any news here on the channel. See you next time.